So I saw you over there with the first team for a while, chatting with them. What was just kind of the general gist of the conversation?
Just wanted to talk a little bit, talk about, our feelings, our thoughts, about last night. It's just, for us, situations like that have to be, as I always say, they got to be speed bumps. They're not detours. And, we know that we didn't play well last night, and we'll come out against San Jose ready to play on Saturday.
That you guys have been able to bounce back from defeats like that, is that encouraging heading into this next game?
Yeah, it's encouraging, but you don't want to have defeats like that, and so it's you've always got to be a tough team to beat every time you step on the field. You got to have that mentality. The DC game is a good example where, we won at DC. We didn't maybe play the best soccer in that game, but we were a tough team to beat. And so sometimes the soccer is going to click or not click for one reason or another, but you still got to be a tough team to beat.
With the tight turnaround with San Jose this weekend, what do you focus on in the short training sessions that you have with them?
Just making sure our guys are ready, that they understand, what we want to accomplish in the game, that we improve upon the things that we didn't do well against the Galaxy, and that we're fresh and ready to go.
Any update on Marshall, and if regardless, what does your defense have to do differently to adjust to whether he's going to be around or not?
Yeah, I haven't heard yet on Marshall. I should have some information when I get inside. But obviously we need to get tighter to people. We were too loose. When Robbie Keane dropped into midfield and looked for the ball, there was nobody within 10 yards of him. And so we need to be tighter. We need to be tighter. We need to be more aggressive defensively. And we need to make sure that we step up on people, and we also run with people. But all of those are things that the team's aware of, the team knows, and they'll do them.
For sure, yeah. And in the second half, it seemed like you were able to cut out a little bit more of that space as the game progressed. Is that encouraging going forward, that they did seem to settle in after a little while?
Well, I think in the second half, yeah, I think we played better, but also, the Galaxy put in a big effort in the first half, so they fatigued a little bit in the second half. It's tough for teams to stifle us, for teams to play like that. It's tough for them to play 90 minutes in that manner. So in the second half, things always open up a little bit more for us. But we need to, like I said, we can play better than we played.
Yeah. It was Dylan's first game back into the starting lineup for a while. What did you think of how he played and kind of how he did in kind of short notice, I guess?
I thought he did all right. It's tough when you've been out that long and you really haven't gotten any real game time, per se. And with the injury that he had, and training doesn't replicate games, and so that was a big game to get thrown into. So he looked a little rusty at times, just as to when to step and when to get tight to people. But as the game went on, I thought he played better. And at the end of the game, we tried. We switched to 3 in the back. That was one of the reasons we took him out.
How about Leo? How's he doing?
Leo's doing okay. He got through full training again today, so he got through training at the end of last week, so our expectation is that Leo should be able to go this weekend.
With Dylan, can a game like that be a good learning experience for him going forward, that he's went through a stretch where he was starting and then...
Every game is a learning experience. You learn when you play well, and you learn when you play poorly. And you learn when you play middle of the road. Each game, if you're a student of the game and you want to get better, each game becomes a learning experience for you.
Next week, Sean is in the homegrown game. He hasn't had a lot of playing time. How valuable can that game be for him, just in terms of getting minutes?
It's a game. The opposition's, you're playing a PDL team in the opposition, so I probably shouldn't say this. I'll get in trouble. It's nice that they're bringing in the homegrowns. I don't completely understand it, so I don't know what purpose it serves, I guess is what I'm saying. Unless they're going to sell like 10,000 tickets for the homegrown game, but maybe that's what they're going to do. But I just think it's great to showcase the homegrowns and all of that. But I don't know how much the game is really going to bring anybody.
It's been a tough year for him just in terms of finding minutes. What have you seen from him in terms of his progression over those 6 months?
It's just, with every young player, it's just consistency, being able to know what you're going to get from him on any given moment, any given day. And a lot of young players sometimes are inconsistent. So with Sean, you see those sparks and you see those levels of performance that says, yeah, this is why he's here. But then there's days where it's not quite at that level. And, that's something that he improves upon each day, that he works on each day. And, you know, eventually, you know, my job as a coach is to put him on the field when he can be successful. If I put him on the field too early and he's not going to be successful, then that's not going to help him or me.
Yeah, last night your attacking midfielders didn't have much time on the ball. Is that just kind of up to the guys behind them to like you said, cut down on that space and allow them the freedom to? They just didn't really seem to have much of an opportunity to get into the game.
Well, our midfielders need options, you know, and the options have to be more than just Clinton Oba. And, you know, so we resorted to long balls. There's a difference between long balls and playing balls behind the defense and stretching the defense. We didn't stretch the defense, but we ended up playing some long balls. And we needed maybe a little more activity from our wide guys so they could be a little more involved in the combination plays we went forward. That got better in the second half. You know, I thought Barrett helped us a little bit with that because Lamar was struggling with the ankle. And, you know, Papa, you know, got into the game a little bit. So as a result, in the second half, we were able to possess the ball more and our midfielders were able to complete more passes.